Saturday, October 19th from 6 to 11 p.m., it will be time for the 9th annual Nightmare on Chicago Street, the ultimate Halloween experience in Elgin. Information about ticket prices at nightmareonchicagostreet.com. We had a chance to talk with Mr. Fred Wims, the art director and really the creator of this event, and he tells us about the early days on Nightmare on Chicago Street in Elgin.
It first started off with this being Chicago Street, this one street level and one idea of like, hey, let's do a zombie apocalypse, let's destroy the city because that's the cheapest thing we can do. So we flipped up cars, boarded up windows, and came up with a concept from that. So like a dark night setting, and we built props with a very low budget and thought, honestly, we only sold tickets ahead of time, about 7 tickets, and we was like, oh, maybe only us and 7 people would come to this event. But reality was 3,500 people came to the first year. So it was a successful first year. And then we were like, okay, we got something. And we just needed to get the business and more involved. And then that's what the evolution started when EPH was like, hey, this is a success. I want to do it. Martini Room backed it up, and like other business, so on. And then it grew from that 3,500 to 5,000, 6,000, 10,000, 15, and we was in major leagues in 15, right? And right now, we had our highest success is about 19,000 people for a one-day event for 5 hours. Last year, we had our first person from out of town. When I say to out of town, from all the way from California. We do have a family that comes from Tokyo to come to this. So it's not just Chicago, it's all neighborhoods and all around the world that come to this event. It really is one of a kind event. So people are lucky to come to it.
Your creativity is incredible.
Oh, thank you.
Tell me about how you evolved so well into that.
I think it's just the fact that I'm like geared a trained artist. Doesn't matter what the item is, you just tell me what it is, and it's a challenge, and I want to create it the best that I can. Go my whole 100% full embodiment of like creating something, right? So why it's so successful for Nightmare was because I kind of in the idea of doing horror. I just watched the movies, Zombieland, old classics, anything I can think of where it was zombie-related, I watched it, and then I was like, okay, now I fed myself, now how should I regurgitate this into a street? So the whole idea was to make it as real as possible, and like if the zombie apocalypse actually happened, and that's what I try to create. And that's why I go solely extreme lengths and making cars blow up, flamethrowers, yeah. Truck flipped over, Jeeps driving on vehicles. Like we really try to make it real as possible, and that's why it's successful.
Where do you get all the help involved with this?
The help, I mean, some of our sponsors, like Artie's Towing, has been sponsoring us since the beginning. He brings in the junk cars. He helps us flip the cars over. The police, the fire department also helping, figuring out what's safe and what can be secured for the city. And then it's just it's hundreds and thousands of volunteers that help out over just the setup or over a little time of building. It's a very small group that actually throws this event, but there's a lot of volunteers that actually set it up.
You're kind of like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Once the event's over, you start for next year, don't you, almost?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's 6 months out. I start on it. So it's like I go sleep for 6 months and I wake up and then it's Nightmare.
Right there.
Yeah.
We're at a location right now. You've got place to construct some of the things you do.
Yeah. I actually building a very secret.
You can listen?
Secret, very secret barn location. I won't tell you where it's at, but we do build in the milk barn. It's a double-decker that we actually built most of the props. Other than that, we had another second location because we grew so big. One location to build is not good enough, so we expanded. And our second location is where we at right now.
Now, for 2019...
Svengoolie has his 40-year anniversary this year. Yeah. So Svengoolie, we're also doing B-Movie Boulevard for kind of celebrate Svengoolie's 40th year. So we have a whole street kind of dedicated to like the B-movies, the golden age of horror. So we expect these from something new and different.